Some might say lucky escape for India, but the others might say in a format that's perhaps fast fading, perhaps becoming obsolete. Once in a while, this format will throw up games that will give us enough drama to savor. You're watching Cricbuzz Live. Joy Bhattacharjya and Zaheer Khan in the studio to make sense of this game. Perhaps a touch too close for comfort, but India finishing it in the end, winning by 17 runs. A huge sigh of relief for India and the fans.
Well, we did touch upon the fact that 350, you have enough cushion. You look at the data which was suggesting on this ground, everything was going that way India's way. Dew was a factor. It was evident that for bowlers it could have created some challenges. But on the whole, I think it was just a great fight back from South Africa after being 3-0, to come back in that fashion and having that belief that they can still win the game was something very, very commendable. And you look at Brisky was very sensible, I felt. Marco Jansen, just a superb, some power hitting, very fearless approach to batting and really putting bowlers under pressure. I just felt that, maybe Indian bowlers in that phase was either too full or too short. After by 15 over mark, if you are 74 for 4, that, it's just about pushing that required run rate higher and that will result in some wickets. And that needs just some basic discipline and just getting the percentage higher in good areas. Maybe that is the concern at this stage when you're looking at the Indian bowling group. And what you can do if you lose the toss, Dew might become a factor. There might be a partnership, how you can approach. Those are the small little things which they'll be looking at very closely. But I think special mention to Kuldeep because he took those 2 wickets, the important 2 wickets of Brisky and Jansen at that stage, really created extra bit of cushion at that stage.
Right, Zach summed it up beautifully, mentioning all the key parts that contributed to this terrific effort at the chase, but India winning it in the end. Perhaps, Joy, this innings is another example of how this format allows you to make a comeback, whether it's with bat or ball, and both teams did that very well in this innings.
I totally agree with you. I think this format allows you that 11 for 3 for them to come back the way they did, and kudos to this South African team. And look, we were looking at some graphics, this team has played in ODIs, and this year they played 36 players. I mean, their players have been available, not been available at all. They've won 7, lost 7. They're playing against perhaps the most formidable 50-over team currently going on. We are definitely probably the best white ball team in the world in our home conditions. And 11 for 3, and they push it to the last over. So this is a South African team that refuses to give up. And that, I think, is the new South Africa that you see. South Africa before this was associated with many things that, they lost 1 matches and all. And this South African team is writing a different story in their history, of a team that just never loses, in fact. Never loses. They're always in the game. And chasing 350, they take it down with just, 18 runs and 4 balls to go.
Right, South Africa won the toss, put India into bat, and thanks to Virat Kohli's magnificent 152nd of his ODI career, India went up to score 349. Was never going to be easy regardless of the conditions, but I suppose Dew came in and played their part, helping South Africa. Credit where it's due. Brisky, Jansen batted really well, Cobb and Bosch as well, brought it very close for South Africa. It wasn't to be. India win by 17 runs and go up 1-0 in this series. Now, the bowling. It's a lineup that doesn't have Bumrah, that doesn't have Siraj, no Varun either Chakravarti, no Akshar Patel. And so I suppose a test like this in the long run augurs well for the Indian team leading up to the World Cup.
Well, it's just about dealing with situation, isn't it? For a team to be consistent, it doesn't matter who is taking part. It's about having the approach. It's about finding a way of winning games of cricket. So that is something which you always give emphasis on. You started with 3 wickets for nothing, So that is something which you've seen what Harshit and Arshdeep did together to set the tone for this defense so strong. And after that, there were passage of play when you've been put under pressure. And these are the learnings you take forward. How can you do things differently? What is the right thought process at that stage? What is the process you need to follow? And I think, with Dew around, what are the lengths which work? So if you notice when Marco Jansen and Brisky was batting, Brisky was someone who was trying to play sensibly, getting Marco on strike as much as possible. and he was just batting with fearless approach at that stage, looking to put bowlers under pressure. But I felt that, too full or too short is something which was the error on bowlers' part through that phase, which created the momentum in South Africa's favour, and the pressure was then very evident on Indian bowlers at that stage.
Dew was always going to be a factor, and therefore, India did well to get those early wickets, especially Harshit, as you said on Cricbuzz Combox, he found the right lengths.
Yeah, I think the first spell was very impressive by both Arshdeep and Harshit Rana. Harshit Rana in particular, because he resulted those lengths in 2 wickets. Rickleton and Quinton de Kock there was just the perfect display of him backing himself with the new ball, looking to be fuller rather than shorter. He's typically a hit the deck kind of a bowler, but with the new ball he backed himself to go a touch fuller, maybe meter and a half, which really worked in his favour. And this should give him enough confidence moving forward. These are the moments where you are trying to do something which is different than what you normally do. When you see the result, it gives you more confidence of replicating that. So I think that first phase for Harshit, for sure he will look at it that way. The second phase, I think for all the bowlers, all the pacers, there is a little bit of learning, a little bit of just reanalyzing the whole situation and the options which they could have taken.
While we are at it, Zach, for young bowlers watching, who perhaps don't play as much day-night cricket, I mean, junior level, I don't know if there's enough day-night cricket happening. When there's so much dew, and you're bowling your second spell, say in the 20th over, the ball is wet, almost like a soap. What should a pace bowler be looking to do?
Well, personally for me, in those kind of situations, you keep things simple. So rather than, because to hit the exact length, as you're not able to deliver the ball because of the wetness on the seam, you're not able to grip. So the release point varies. You can't really have the control over that. You just look to bowl shorter, and shorter than what you're looking to bowl. And that really adds to that, maybe 1.5 meter of fuller length than what you're looking to aim. And that really, with practice, a lot of the teams we've seen, if dew is constant factor, you'll put a bucket full of water, put some balls in it, and then you bowl with those balls just to get the feel of it, that what is going to be that plan which is going to work for you. Some bowlers have tried bowling cross seam. That also is the option which a few bowlers opt for. But I think personally for me, if you're able to figure out in terms of the lengths and try and be consistent around that, and then that really eases the pressure off. Because at times you've seen a lot of the bowlers look to bowl those Yorkers, end up in low full tosses. That can really be damaging. The batters can take advantage of that. So it's just about, having a simple method which is going to work for you. You've seen the slower one also today, like it was coming onto the bat. So the shorter, slower one which Arshdeep bowled were working, but Harshit was looking to bowl those length slower ones which was ending up going a bit fuller, which the batters can take advantage.
Yes, Harshit will do well to look back at that second spell and perhaps spend some time with Gautam Gambhir and Mochel, the bowling coach, and work on that aspect. But he'll take a lot of strength from that opening spell. He's been backed by the management. Unfortunately, has faced a lot of flack unfairly on social media. I mean, he's shown why he enjoys this kind of backing.
Absolutely. Firstly, I mean, we were talking about that no Mubna, no Siraj. Now with the IPL and the current conditions, you have 9-10 bowlers. I mean, which one of these bowlers is not experienced? Is Prasidh not experienced? Is Arshdeep not experienced? He's a highest T20 wicket taker.
Yeah.
Is Harshit Rana has played in Australia, played here. So none of these are also very experienced bowlers. India just has a luxury of a lot of bowlers. Yeah. So while we are missing some bowlers, this is still a very much A-level India attack. And this still is a very, very capable attack. And I think what is interesting is our innings is the exact opposite of the South African innings. We started off fast. We plateaued in the middle because, at that point in time, we lost wickets. And just take a look at that. And if you see the run rates, their run rate at the beginning, look at their run rate in the middle. When they are 8.3, we are 4.5. When we started at 8, they were 4.7. And I think that is the differential. And then again, they tailed off towards the end because they started losing wickets and we just didn't lose wickets at the end. So I think if you look at it, they are the exact opposite. Of course, a part of it has been caused because of dew. But also the way the Indian team bats, what does it do? They score runs up front, they soak up pressure, then they hit in the end. And that's a classical Indian sort of way of playing. Here they lost wickets, but they fought back really well. And then towards the end, they just lost too many wickets.
And they do have that trump card in them, in their lineup. Kuldeep Yadav, once again, brave enough to toss it up when he wanted to. 3 of those wickets were of proper batters, Zorzi, Jansen and Breatske. Kuldeep Yadav perhaps showing that he's clearly India's #1 spin bowler, at least in white ball cricket.
But 3 of those wickets, you look at the moments of the game.
The game, yeah.
You know, when you look at the game, how it unfolded, yes, you got wickets early on, but there was a partnership which was building. There were 11 for 3. After that, the 4th wicket fell at 74. The wicket taker was Kuldeep at that stage. Marco Jansen, Brisky putting you under pressure, and then him coming back on, and both going out in the same over. You know, so that's the kind of impact he's had. So Kuldeep was going to be a factor, and he delivered it again against this team.
At the end of the 44 overs, Arshdeep had 3 left. So clearly, KL Rahul sort of got that bit right. Sundar bowled only 3, but we'll get to that later. It's good to see Arshdeep Singh being backed to bowl the tougher overs. He bowled the 45th, the 47th, and the 49th. And Zach, we did see that fuller delivery in the block hole outside the off stump. So it's something that he's worked on over the years.
He's someone who has been very consistent. I think, you know, when you're talking about someone evolving as a bowler or someone who's been learning and maturing at this level nicely is Arshdeep.
Yeah.
You know, not every time you're going to just look at the numbers and say, okay, he's had a good day or a bad day. I think today he absorbed the pressure very well. Used his Yorkers very well. The slower one which I was talking about, that was just a perfect thought process at that stage where you got to mix it up as well. You can't be just predictable bowling those Yorkers. So he bowled that short, slower one, which was really short. So I think, you know, he's got a good feel of the game. He backs himself to do what he has been working towards, and that's something is very heartening to see.
Very clinical, very professional from the Indian bowlers, only 3 wides, and that means there were no freebies on offer for South Africa in the field as well. India very much alert. I mean, Virat Kohli had long gone impossible to get through. He turned a boundary into a single. He is clearly in the mood with the bat and in the field.
No,
a bit of a tiger.
Absolutely. Virat Kohli was there in form in the field. You saw Washi in the covers doing very well.
Yep.
And if you saw, it seemed like old time because Rohit Sharma was standing at mid-off because, you know, the captain is the now keeper.
Yeah.
And Rohit Sharma kept, you know, he turning around to the bowler and telling him, and I think I love the way that, I mean, this Indian team is not a hierarchy saying, okay, he's the captain only, he can talk. I think Rohit Sharma kept speaking to the bowlers, calming him down and all that. And I think it worked perfectly well. See, this was an Indian team in sync. Remember, South Africa gave away 23 extras.
Yeah.
We gave away 3. That's a game. If you look at it, that's your game for you.
True. Right, we have to talk about South Africa's batting effort. They came very close. In fact, more than 4 batters went past 40. In fact, 3 of them, not 4. Breatske perhaps giving you a glimpse of what he can achieve because he did show different gears to his batting today.
Yeah, absorbing pressure is something, you know, which was very important at this stage, especially when you lost so many wickets at the top. You just need to absorb the pressure in that phase. I think Georgie and him both at that stage were ready to do that.
Yeah.
And then Marco Jansen just took the bowlers on. And, you know, with that kind of innings, suddenly the pressure is off. And the whole glue in this batting order, when you look at these partnerships, it was Brisky. So I think he showed some good character, good situational awareness, and good fight for his team.
The top 3 of South Africa not delivering, and they were up against a pumped-up Harshit Rana and Arshdeep Singh as well, who got the wicket of the captain caught behind. But we have to talk about Marco Jansen. I'm not too sure if there are too many all-rounders of that quality in world cricket. He's a bit of a rare commodity, isn't he, Jansen?
No, as I was telling you, 70 of 39, and the way he hit them, you know, over the top, straight out, hitting the fast bowlers over their heads. I mean, I told you, he started his career as a 9-year-old scoring 164 in a 20-over match. And his father says this guy has the ability to bat. So his career started as an opening batter. So his bowling came on later. And now we look at him as an all-rounder, more as a bowling all-rounder. But he's a batter. And today he proved why it is. Yeah. Because, you know, he has the ability to hit the shots and his reach is so much. So if you miss your length even the slightest bit because of his huge reach, he has the ability to reach the ball and big, you know, long handles. So his ability to hit it out. And I genuinely feel Marco Jansen is underrated as a batter. I feel he can bat earlier in the innings. I feel he has the ability to bat at 5-6 easily on a regular basis for South Africa. He's just a phenomenal cricketer who's just, it's just difficult to believe. He's just at the start of his career, so he's going to have a fantastic...
50 of his 70 came off 4s and 6s, 8 4s and 3 6s. He did rev up the chase a fair bit. I mean, without that innings, South Africa might have bundled out much sooner.
Look, I mean, you could see the Indian bowlers were feeling pressure at that stage when he was at the crease, and he just started from the word go. It didn't really take time to settle in, and that was maybe part of the plan. What I liked about his approach was at no stage he was looking like he was predeterminedly trying to take the bowling on.
Exactly.
He was just backing his shots, backing his areas, and he had a very clear understanding of it. So he looked very calm and composed, even though he batted at the rate which he's batted.
Bosch as well, who was brought in as an injury replacement by the Mumbai Indians. That's the first time we in India heard of that name. He was brought in to replace Lizard Williams, I think. And this innings tonight tells you that he has a lot more to offer. He's played a lot of cricket. He's 31 years of age, but a solid innings this one.
Again, experienced South African professionals. South Africa always has this ability to produce all-rounders. They've always produced all-rounders from Klusener, Pollock. You know, they have a tradition of that. And you look at this team also, you know. You have Jansen, you have him. You have Markram, who's a pretty decent bowler. I don't know why he didn't bowl today. You have Keshav Maharaj, who can bat. They have a lot of them. Bosch is typically that sort of bits and pieces Australian player, South African player who can fit into any position. And he can bat for you at 5, 6, 7, 8. He can bat all these positions. He took 2 wickets as well. So if you look at it, it's a very complete performance. And had he finished the match for India, he was the man of the match.
Right, 3-match ODI series. India go 1-0 up. Game number 2 will be played in Raipur, Chhattisgarh, and that's where India will want to clinch this series and not leave it to game number 3. Very quickly, Zach, having seen what India did in that first ODI, lessons, what are the areas that India need to be looking at improving? The length of the bowlers in the middle overs, perhaps one area? Yeah,
I think, that's something which I touched upon earlier. That's something which they will be talking about, especially if Dewy is a factor. So what are the plans which one must have? The simple plans which is going to ease things out for them in the middle. Other than that, I think something which what they did with the new ball was something special to see. So so back the things which you've been doing well. You don't see any other replacement. Prasidh may be right now a bit of a concern for him to get some game time, get that confidence going. Those are the things they'll be looking at. Kuldeep was a star performer, and I think that Jadeja and Washington. So the balance, when you look at it, 3 seamers and 3 spinners is something which is good. They should continue with that. It's just about fine-tuning the plans and processes a little bit.
Remember, this squad does not have Bumrah, no Shubman Gill, no Shreyas Iyer, no Varun, no Akshar Patel. This is the squad that India have. Now, Joy, after a win, typically they say don't change what is working. We were a bit surprised to not see Tilak Verma in the lineup. You were not going to drop Gaikwad after just one game. Sundar wasn't used much. I think he bowled 3 or 4 overs in that first ODI. Do you reckon there is any chance of a change? If yes, what?
No, I just don't think. I mean, I don't see any changes under these current conditions because you can't give a batter 1 innings and say that you're going to change it. Bowlers, then the question you have to ask yourself is who can change for what? Then do we want to... In Indian conditions, do you want to play with 4 fast bowlers? Because that's your option only. Because Nitish Reddy as an all-rounder is your only option coming in place of Washington Sundar. That's really your only option. Do you want to do it under these conditions?
Also, you need a lefty in your
you need a lefty in your lineup. He gives you that option of batting, starting in at any batting position. So right now, I don't see any changes for the Indian team. Also, let them settle down. And what I'd do is I'd just tell... KL Rahul to practice the toss because that's one thing we don't get right. That's one thing we just don't get right.
If KKR can hire a power coach, I'm sure India can hire a toss coach here. 19 consecutive losses, the toss that is, and maybe Lady Luck will smile. If India can keep winning games, never mind the toss. South Africa changes, surely Keshav Maharaj has got to play.
I think so. I think they will be looking at it. If he was rested for this game, then he comes back in. maybe Subrayan might make way for Keshav Maharaj to come in. Between Quinton de Kock and Rickleton, Temba Bauma is someone, who can be slotted. So maybe these are the two changes they'll be debating.
How about Ngidi in for Bartman if he's fit and ready?
If he's fit and available, yeah. So, but look, I mean, in a 3 ODI series, normally you've seen, a player playing the first game. Usually, you don't change things just for the heck of it. So I think they'll stick with that continuity.
Right, we've talked about the changes now. Players to watch out for. Virat Kohli typically is an easy one to pick, but I'll let you pick this.
I think Virat Kohli is a player I'll pick for
Oh,
India.
I never thought of that.
You never thought of that, did you? No, Virat, he's in purple patch, and just to see him back, we don't see enough of him nowadays. Just to see him play again, I'd love to see what he can do. And tomorrow, I'd really want to see Markram. Markram he was the first. He captained South Africa to a Under-19 World Cup Championship. I think the captain has to step up. If he steps up and gives them runs up front, this is a very good South African side.
For you, Zach? Yes, watch out for.
Well, I think Marco Jansen, I'll back him. He's someone who is showing good signs. Good to see him progress this way and creating a name for himself at the international level. And for India, I think Kuldeep Yadav. He was an X factor before the start of the game today. He's proved it that why he's been so consistent against this lot. So it's just about taking a notch higher now for him.
On Cricbuzz Live, Joy Bhattacharjya is always the expert to watch out for because he comes up with these unique questions on Joy Factor. Joy, all yours.
Okay, this one is a very simple one. What unique feat connects cricketers Bazid Khan and Dean Headley? The only unique thing they had was that their ability to carry on what their generations before them did. These are the only two cricketers where their fathers and grandfathers also played Test cricket. Majid Khan, of course, played for Pakistan. He was a great opening bat. Jahangir Khan played the first ever Test, played for India. So Jahangir Khan played for India, Majid Khan played for Pakistan, and the son Bazid Khan didn't play very much. Again, George Headley was known as the Black Bradman. He was one of the greatest cricketers ever. Ron Headley, after that, came and played for UK, England. And then Dean Headley's also played for England, but George Headley used to play for the West Indies.
Wow, now that was a fun one from Mr. Bhattacharjya. Let's bring up the name of the winner. We got a lot of entries, and here's the lucky one that got picked randomly. Sudeep Abhyankar, one of your regulars, sir?
I've seen Sudeep Abhyankar before. He's definitely somebody who knows his stuff.
Right, well done, Sudeep, and I'm sure you're waiting for what Joy comes up with on Wednesday. We will see you at 1 p.m. Cricbuzz Live with the same duo. I'll be there as well. See you at 1 p.m. on Cricbuzz Live on Wednesday afternoon. Bye for now.